Welcome back to Trick Questions, the show where we talk about your favorite magic tricks. Before we get to the show today, there's a different camera angle today because we're doing a little remodel here at Bob's Magic Emporium. You're going to be able to see that remodel hopefully Saturday. I'm hoping to get all this done by hopefully tomorrow night. But we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to do a video on Saturday for this channel and you'll be able to see the remodel that I've done here in the Bob's Magic Emporium. Alright, on to the show this week. We're talking about the 100th Monkey. This is a trick where you make the spectator forget how to read as one of the tricks, but you can also do other things with it too, like have the audience think of something and the spectator on stage think of something, and whatever the audience is thinking of is right, and as well as something different that the spectator is thinking of is also right as well. First question comes from Lumos Magic. If you are in a small group of people, will the reader of the cards know how it's done and share it? Is it an instant stooge? No, it's not an instant stooge. You pull anybody you want from the crowd. The only thing Chris Philpott on the DVD says is don't use somebody who has poor vision, obviously, because it's a reading test. Just like on a book test, you wouldn't pull somebody out of the audience who has terrible vision. You wouldn't do the same thing with this trick. But other than that, you're free to use anybody that you want. And if you're doing it for a small group of people, the best thing is, let's say Billy Bob comes up and helps you with the trick. Later, his friends are going to ask him, could you really not read those words, Billy Bob? And Billy Bob's going to say, no, I couldn't read them. Do you know how it was done? I have no idea. Because you're showing the spectators the word, and when the reader sees it, they can't read it, which is fun. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, yes, if in a small group of people, they're not going to know how it's done, which is pretty cool, because they'll be able to, it's one of those tricks where if they chit-chat after the show, you don't have to worry about them exposing the secret, because they're not going to figure it out, which is cool. Purple Link Lego 11 says, when the trick is over and they can read the cards, can they hold and examine the cards? Yes and no. They supply you with 3 regular cards. So you can end clean and do a switch of the cards. So you can definitely end clean, but for just immediately after the trick's over and say, here's the props, touch them. You can't do that because you got to switch the cards out or somehow change them so you can end clean. And BX Shep TV says, is it worth the money and can you use this in a kid's show because they might not understand it? I would not recommend using this in a kid's show just because they might not understand it. And also because there's some big words in there like maintenance and coincidence. And those are kind of big. And if you do a kid's birthday party for a 6 or 7-year-old, they may not be able to pronounce those words. So I would just leave it for like a stage performance, a cabaret performance. We could probably even do it for street magic, would be a great place to probably do that. And it's definitely worth the money. I know it's an expensive trick. It's like 80 bucks, but you're going to get a lot of laughs out of it, especially if you do like a kid's show or if you do a stage show, excuse me, where the audience will start laughing when the spectator on stage cannot read the words and tries to mumble the words. And like in the demo that I did, the spectator was like adactin. So it was funny in that way because you're going to get a lot of laughs from a big crowd of people like doing this on stage. Like David and Lehman did on America's Got Talent. Everyone in the room was laughing, even the judges, except for Harry Mandel because he wasn't in on the secret, but he wasn't in on the gag. But everybody else in the whole room was laughing. So it really is a great trick and I recommend it. It's definitely worth the money. Overall, the 100th Monkey is it's a great magic trick. I recommend getting it. The only thing about the 100th Monkey is the fact that you kind of have to be worried about one little situation, but you can test it like 30 seconds before you perform the trick and see if you can do it in that situation or not. And Chris Philpott talks about that on the DVD. But overall, 99% of the time, you're going to be able to perform this trick in different situations. So you don't have to really worry about that. All right, that's going to do it for this week's trick questions. Now, we're going to need questions for next week's trick. And next week's trick, because I did that entire video last Sunday devoted to Tenyo, we're going to talk about a Tenyo trick, the Trisector. So we're going to talk about Tenyo Trisector next week. So if you have any questions about this trick, make sure to leave them in the comments below. And you can see the performance on my channel. And make sure to leave your questions, and we'll answer them next week for another all-new trick question. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next Thursday. If you'd like to see more awesome content, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. New videos are posted every day of the week. Also, check out my website and register so you can post in the forums. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. like me on Facebook, add me to your Google Plus circles, and check out my merchandise store to pick up some awesome swag. 444RR, game shows, magic, and more.